guys, I'm Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make my salmon niçoise salad. It is delicious, easy as can be, great crowd pleaser. You can really play around with, what you like to put on it. You can add some things, you can take away some things. It's completely up to you. Let me take you over the ingredients so we can get started. You're going to need some potatoes that have been cooked. Now you can choose whatever you like. I'm choosing to use these little baby Yukon Golds that I've just cut in half. You're going to need some green beans, fresh green beans. I've got some hard-boiled eggs. I've got some pitted calamari olives, fresh parsley, tomatoes, white wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, extra virgin olive oil. I've got a platter here that I've got some bib lettuce, nice and fresh and cleaned and dried, just kind of laid out and ready to go. And as for my salmon, I have two beautiful pieces of salmon fillets that have been pin-boned and ready to go. Now I have my oven preheated to about 450 or 475. I want to pop this in there for about 10 minutes just to roast the salmon and get a really lovely flavor. I have the salmon on an oil baking sheet that I've just lined with a little bit of aluminum foil. Very simple. Now what I also have here is a saucepan filled with salted boiling water, and that's going to be for blanching the green beans. Now I'm just salt and peppering my salmon, and you could do the same thing with tuna. You can do the same thing with chicken, it's completely up to you. But I do enjoy it with salmon, and I often like to make it with salmon just because it's a great way to stretch a buck and really make the salad delicious and interesting and so good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this into the oven for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done. But in the meantime, we'll get going on blanching the green beans. I've got my trimmed green beans I'm adding to my boiling water, and they're going to be in there for 2 minutes, if that. I'm going to disturb for about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to just blanch them really quickly, 2 minutes, run them under really cold water. You can also just put them in a water bath and it's perfectly fine, and they're done. I'm just going to run them under cold water till they stop cooking. Now for my potatoes, I just cooked up some baby Yukon Gold potatoes that I've halved in some salted boiling water until they're done, about 15 minutes. That's it. You can use any potato you like. You can use leftover potatoes. That's even great as well. But it's really completely up to you. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen the salad made the same thing the same way every single time. Things always change. The potatoes change. Sometimes I like to use purple potatoes if I can get my hands on them for beautiful color, and it makes it really interesting. Heirloom tomatoes would be great. Play around with what you have on hand or what you can find fresh at your local market. But as for now, I'm going to let these blanch for 2 minutes, run them on the cold water to stop them from cooking, and then we can pull up the whole thing together. That's it. So once I blanched my green beans for 2 minutes, I just shot them in cold water until they were completely cold, drained them, and they're good to go. Now my salmon was in the oven for 15 minutes, and it's beautifully roasted. I've let this cool quite a bit. Otherwise, if I went ahead and handled it, I would first burn my hands, and second of all, to put hot salmon on the lettuce, big no-no. It's going to wilt the lettuce completely, and that wouldn't be good. So let's get going on making the vinaigrette. It's really simple. I'm just going to take some Dijon mustard. I'm going to take quite a bit of it. I love Dijon mustard. Isn't it so good? I particularly love it in chicken cordon bleu, like just a layer of it between Swiss and ham. It's delicious. Now I'm going to just finely chop some parsley. I like the parsley running through my vinaigrette. Adds a little something interesting. Sometimes if I can get my hands on some fresh chives, I like to add some fresh chives in here as well. Just adds a little something extra. Now, traditionally, a niçoise salad always has anchovies with it. My husband and my friends coming over don't particularly groove on raw anchovies on a salad, so I'm leaving them out. But feel free to add some right on top. It would be absolutely delicious. All right, we've got our parsley. Let's season this with some salt and some pepper. Every time I put salt and pepper, I feel like singing salt and pepper here, something, something. I don't remember the 80s song, but you know what I'm talking about. Fill in the words if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, white wine vinegar. You could also use champagne vinegar or red wine vinegar. I like white wine vinegar, so that's what I'm using. That's good. And then I'm just going to whisk this and add in my extra virgin olive oil. And that's it. Really simple vinaigrette. It's going to taste absolutely delicious. And it couldn't be any easier. And we like things easy around here. I don't like complicated stuff. Life can be complicated enough. Food shouldn't be. You feel me? All right. This is done. Let's test it. I have to take whatever I'm cooking. Oh yeah. Party in the house. Okay. This is what I like to do. I like to dress each thing. Well, I like to dress my green beans, tomatoes, and my potatoes with a little bit of the dressing so that everything, so that everything is beautifully dressed with the vinaigrette. It's got tons of flavor. And then I like to place these ingredients on my platter in just lovely sections. Instead of scattering everything all over, I like to put this closer to me so you can see better. I like to put my potatoes all on one side, right here in this corner. Then we dress the green beans. Should probably use tongs for this, but I like to be a rebel in life. Put these in another corner as well. So you see what I mean, just like lovely big pieces of it, and you've got this beautiful bib lettuce being like the mattress that kind of holds everything beautifully together. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my tomatoes into lovely big wedges. These are going to add beautiful color as well as flavor. Ooh, and this is just such a crowd pleaser. It makes the salmon really stretch so that if you're feeding, this will easily feed 4 to 6 people. You don't have to get a ton of salmon, like a steak, you know, a piece of salmon for each one. That wouldn't be fair because that's a lot of money. All right, and then I'm gonna take my olives and just kind of push these right here, just for interest. You can use any olives you want. You could use a mixture of olives as well. That would be absolutely beautiful. Now I'm leaving the center for my salmon, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna take some of my eggs that I've cut up into quarters. These are just some hard-boiled eggs. I do them the same every single time by just placing them in the saucepan with water. Oops, bring them up to a boil, let them boil in there for a couple minutes, and then just run them under cold water and they're done. All right, now let's take the salmon. Oops, the egg just does not want to stay together. There you go. Now what I gotta do is take my salmon and I've let it cool for a little bit. You don't need the skin for this, which is great because it sticks right to the aluminum foil. And I just like to take it with my hands and just make lovely large pieces so that it's got great texture and it's not super mushy. And I like to put that right in the center because it is the star of the show. So, and then once we have that, we can go ahead and just drizzle a little bit of the marinade, or the dressing I should say, a little bit of the dressing that we've got left over right over the top. And that, my friend, is completely done. It's easy. You can assemble this ahead of time if you want to. I would suggest if you're going to do that, keep the dressing completely on the side so that nothing gets mushy. But that is it. I mean, how beautiful of a salad is that? I just need to eat a piece of salmon. I'm going to take this one. Check this. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Love it. Go to laurainthekitchen.com. Got some good roasted salmon to get the written recipe. Share it with your friends this weekend. Really lovely brunch with some crisp white wine or even rosé would be beautiful with this. I hope you enjoy spending time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.